Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Burke Briefing. Today, we have joining us Jeff Fansler, who is the Director of Transportation for the City of Winston-Salem. Today, Jeff will tell us all about an exciting project called the Northwest Boulevard Streetscape project, and we're just so happy to have him today. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming and sharing information about this new initiative on Northwest Boulevard. Can you describe to us the work that will take place on Northwest Boulevard that will be included in this project?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about this initiative. So the project that Winston-Salem DOT is working on right now is a streetscape analysis and study for Northwest Boulevard. The project really will look at the aesthetic treatments, the traffic safety, the pedestrian needs, the overall environmental needs of the corridor between University Parkway all the way over to North Liberty Street there at the intersection of 14th Street. So it's a pretty long project where we're going to look at ways to improve the walkability, the aesthetic treatments, and the overall community aspect of Northwest Boulevard for all modes of transportation. And so our department's been managing this project for a little over a year, and there's been different milestones along the way, and we're just excited to study this project and study this corridor to see what we can do to make it more of a meaningful place to want to be for transportation and for just the community.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that you all had a public meeting where members of the community were invited to come and give input on the project. Can you tell us about that? When did that take place?
Yes, that took place a little bit earlier this summer. And what we heard when we went out to the community, we told them, hey, we're analyzing this corridor for these type of needs, for safety, for aesthetic treatments. What do you think? And there were some good comments and feedback we got, well attended. We heard things about, we have some vegetation overgrowth. We had some sidewalk concerns. We have some overall placemaking. There's not really a placemaking elements along this corridor. What can the city do about that? And so our consultant that was with us along the way took that feedback, and we were able to digest kind of really where we are. And so I think some key takeaways from that are we need to improve the walkability, we need to improve the multimodal aspects of the facility, and then we need to figure out ways to incorporate some cultural placemaking elements and aesthetic betterments along this corridor, which the community told us they'd like to see. And so since that time, we have been taking that information back, working with our consultant to develop some renderings and some areas of interest along the corridor, and then what could the street maybe transform to be to provide some more multimodal transportation options. And so what I'm happy to say is that since that time of the public meeting, we have done a considerable amount of work. We've got some cost estimates. We know where things are going to be looking at in terms of cost. And what we'd like to do is, early 2026, is to go back to the public and show them kind of what our takeaway was from their engagement and what they told us they wanted to see. And so we're looking forward to presenting that sometime in the spring, where we're going to go back to the public and show them kind of what we come up with.
That sounds great. What about people who are not able to attend the meeting and participate in person?
Yeah, so great question. One of the things we have developed with this project is a project website. So what we could do is share that website with any interested party. Maybe we can share it with our social media partners to make sure everyone has access to the website where we share all this information and engage them for their public feedback.
That's great. You really thought this thing through. And I love that the public was included, and I attended that initial meeting, and it was just wonderful for them to move from station to station and be able to add their expectations and their wants for how this project will develop, and to know that you're going to have a follow-up meeting to show them that their ideas have been implemented in the project. Now, you said that this project will start at University Parkway and extend all the way to Liberty Street. And I just think that that is just something that we need to highlight and tell the public about, because it includes 3 wards. It includes the North Ward, the East Ward, and the Northeast Ward. And very seldom do we have a project that includes more than 1 ward. So this is just really great, really great.
And that's a good element to highlight, because, there are other initiatives along this corridor, like, for example, the work that we're doing with the Long Branch Trail on the eastern side of the corridor. And so it just makes sense to have a comprehensive look at Northwest Boulevard to really connect other initiatives that really connect our city. And I think that's the benefit and the highlight of this project that we'll celebrate, is that when we're all said and done, maybe we provide a sense of place that can connect you other places in our city as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you had talked about safety, walkability, more pedestrian friendly. Can you describe to us what we might see, what it might look like once this project is completed?
So what we're looking at right now, and we've got some fine tuning still to do, but we're looking at some bicycle and pedestrian accommodations. So sidewalk improvements, and we're looking at some bike lanes out on the street. And then we're also looking at some intersection treatments to maybe slow traffic down, when slowing traffic down to, I guess, and really, prioritize the safer pedestrian movement. So all of those things you could see on this corridor as we refine the details. And don't be alarmed if we come to you and say, hey, we maybe even consider some different traffic control. We may want to introduce a multi-way stop. So actually traffic has to stop in this location to provide a place where pedestrians can actually safely cross the street. Because right now, folks don't necessarily have a controlled movement to cross safely. And so we're looking at those things as well. All of those elements could definitely be considered. And when we refine our recommendations and take it back out to the public, we're going to be asking those questions about, is this the type of treatments that you think would benefit you as a community member in this area?
Well, that sounds good. It sounds like it's going to be beautiful. And I do believe that the sidewalks will be wider.
In some places they will. Some places they won't because just some physical constraints. But where we can make accommodations in that, we're looking to do so.
Okay. And what about any plantings? Have you all decided what plantings might be used along?
We have a number of areas where we're going to introduce some landscaping. And so while I can't recall all of the particular type of plants, what we do have are several linear parks. We have some areas of concentrated landscaping and public art. All of those things are going to be part of the recommended package that we put forward for the community to engage with.
Like I said, it sounds like it's going to be beautiful. You're going to come back together to bring the public back together early 2026.
That's right.
When do you think this project will begin and end?
Well, the good thing is the city, thank you, Councilmember, we already have some funding allocated to go right to construction, so with the recommendations that come out of this. And so once we get some, I think, we feel like we can move forward based on the community feedback. We're going to be putting a construction package together in the summer of 2026 to go out for construction. And we're going to build as much as our dollars allow us to do. And our hope is that the community rallies behind the recommendations that we're presenting. And if not, if we get it wrong, tell us what we got wrong, and we'll try to make sure that we address it before it goes to construction.
Well, this is exciting. I know that it's going to be beautiful, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. This is a high-traffic location. A lot of traffic travels through this area. There's so many churches on both sides of Northwest Boulevard, and so this will be an enhancement for those travelers as they go about their day. Is it anything else you'd like to share about this project?
Just a couple other things. We view Northwest Boulevard as a really major east-west kind of connection in our city, just north of downtown. And while what we've tried to do is really hear from the public, we're going to be intentional in asking them to take a hard look at what we've developed. Now, while we have a fiscal constraint with the dollars we have, we want them to tell us what they want this corridor to look like and let us go to work to make sure we build what they want to see. And so we're going to ask them to come out and engage with us in this meeting. We're eyeing sometime February or March, so stay tuned as we develop the meeting schedule. And we'll be sharing that with the community members, and we're asking them to come out and see if what they told us back last summer made it to development. So hopefully we'll hear from them.
I love that. I love including the community, including the public. Well, if there's nothing else, Jeff, I want to say thank you so much for bringing this project to Northwest Boulevard. Thank you for all the work that you do in our city as Director of Transportation.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Burke Briefing.